Hello again, my crafty friends. We are working hard here to get ready for Friday's mystery stamping class. We're doing a little bit simpler one this week because I want to show you guys another technique. And I didn't get to show you at the end of our class last Friday. So I thought a quick little video might be in order. So what I wanted to show you guys, the technique we're going to be using on this Friday, it'll be, let's see, September 5th, I think, mystery stamping is where you are going to work with punches. Now, if you don't have a punch, totally okay. There's going to be a cheat that I'm going to show you guys. But what we're learning to work with is nesting labels together or nesting shapes together, okay? So I'm going to pin my video here. So hopefully it comes up. There we go, nice and big. That's what you guys want to see. Okay, so the punch I'm using for my demonstration today is from page 166 of our annual catalog. And I'm going to show you guys how to do this with the Label Me Lovely, because I personally find this to be one of the most versatile punches in the catalog. I say that there's several ones. This is another very versatile punch. But we'll talk about that one a different day. This one, I want to highlight to you guys how many different ways you can use this punch. You can also do a similar technique with the other punches here, but this one gives you the most amount of options from what I could see. So let's get started. What I did was I took and punched out a basic cardstock, just the general shape of the label. And I'm going to show you guys how I personally punch my items out. I like to punch upside down because I can see where to align my images. For those of you that may have issues with your wrist or having enough strength to punch, you can still set your punch down on the table and line it up this way, and then put both hands on and punch. And that way you're not having to just use the finger compression power, okay? So I punch my punch out. Some of these items are glued down and some aren't. And then what I wanna do is, this is an awesome punch on its own, super great. So this is an amazing punch on its own. It's very versatile. I love how large the space is. You can get a great deal of sentiments on here. But if I want to do more with this punch, I can punch out a second item, a second punched label in various colors. And you see I've done that here. So I'll show you how I can use my leftover paper, because we all have leftover scraps. You guys have scraps like this laying around. Maybe you die cut out or you punched out of it. So you kind of have some space here. I like to punch my labels using up the scrap image. And what I do is a technique where I stick my cardstock into the punch, and I want to punch about half, okay? But this would be hard to do, to try to hold it in place and squeeze my punch at the same time. So what you do is you get your punch most of the way in place and you halfway squeeze it. And what that does is it kind of pinches it in place. And by doing that, you can release the tension just enough to adjust if you need to adjust it more. But I have it where I want it, so I'm going to go ahead and punch it out. And I'm going to do this again over here where there's another scrap area of paper that I want to use up. And I'm going to punch it again. Ooh, those are fun flying at you. So now what I can do is begin to create an image similar to this. What I would do is extend these half punched areas to the outside of my label. So you guys can see that. So now here's another image, and that's totally separate from these other ones because I did 3 on these. So how cool is that one just on its own? One other thing that I did to continue to build on this, and you could go out really as many times as you wanted, but boy, I really like that one. I did it the opposite way with this one here, and then you can see I would set maybe a cardstock circle in the center with my sentiment, or you could just stamp your sentiment directly. But I am loving, I'm going to move this down here on the white so you guys can see it a little bit better. I am loving how this one looks. I forgot all about that one too. So boy, you got a whole nother design there. Anyhow, what you can do then is begin to cut the label off at all these different areas here. Let me hold it in my hand, maybe you can see it better. So from this point here down to this point here, I could take my tiny little Stampin' Up! Trimmer and I could go ahead, and what I would do is I would line up the edge here, this little gap here. I don't know if you guys can see that. And here, and I would look inside kind of my trimmer and line it up against the trimmer blade ledge here, okay? And once I knew that that was even, I'd go ahead and slice. And I'll do that to show you guys. So I just sliced off one little piece. So you could do this on as many of these little edges that are coming out so many different ways. This one is the one that looks like this, where I just cut the top off here. And then by doing this, I can use the center piece on this one. Then I can use this piece where I've cut these two edges off. And then I would use the last piece whole and put these kind of together like a puzzle piece. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you guys that there's so many ways you can use your punches. So let's say you don't have this punch. That's totally fine. Let me set this one off to the side here, and I will show you guys how to do this similarly with another punch. So let's grab, I think this is the Everyday Label punch. Yes, it is. So to do something similar with this, I would go ahead, line up my punched image, or line up the cardstock, punch this out, set that off to the side. And then again, what's awesome is I can use up so much of my scraps. And because some of this is going to be hidden, I'm not going to worry about if this center edge, see how that center edge is messed up? That's going to be hidden though. So I'm not going to stress about that. Boom. So I pop that one out, and I can do the same thing here. And again, I'm not going to worry about that center section because that's going to be hidden in a minute. So if I wanted to do that with this punch, same thing. Boom, nest it, and nest it on the other side. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love these colors. This is Misty Moonlight and Bermuda Bay, by the way. Can you guys see that? I feel like you guys can't see that closely enough. So I'm gonna scoop it up here, bring it up a little closer for you to see. I just want you guys, I mean, punches are amazing. If you have a die cut machine, you're set. You can do this with all your different dies. But if you're on a little bit more of a budget, or you don't want to accumulate a ton of items for crafting at the moment, this allows you to get a similar effect with not as much cost. So anyhow, you guys get the point. You would just add those to the edge, and you could go out multiple times. Now, remember I told you I'd give you a cheat. So if you don't have any punches right now, totally okay. You can still participate in this Friday. What you would do to create the nested label that I'm going to list in the supplies or in the clues is you can cut out 2, 3, 4, 5 if you really want to shapes. You can do circles, rectangles, triangles, whatever you guys want to do. And to nest them, all you're going to do is make sure that each shape is slightly larger than the next shape. 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. This would be closer to 1/8 of an inch. This would be closer to 1/4 of an inch. I'll hold that up a little closer too so you guys can see. This is about 1/4 of an inch here. Between these two is about 1/8 of an inch. So you just need it to be 1/4 of an inch larger for each shape, or 1/8 of an inch larger for each shape. So you guys can do that by finding everyday items around your house. Cups are great to use, and you just trace around the cup and cut it out. Bowls, plates, you know, there's all sorts of things around your house. One of the better things are, believe it or not, if you have empty medicine containers, those have a nice circle. The lids are a nice circle shape. I've used those many times. So look around your home. I guarantee you, you guys have items and shapes around your home that you can trace if you don't have any punches. And that will allow you to participate for nesting your label. And that's what it'll be called for our mystery stamping this week. Okay, thank you guys so much. I just wanted to show you that quick little tutorial, and now you guys will have a better idea what I'm talking about for Friday. All right, love you guys. Thanks for your support. See you soon. Bye.